What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how to add an additional $30,000 a month or more to your coaching business, specifically through YouTube. And real quick, why you should listen to me. My name's Quentin Johnson, founder of The Content Bosses. I've spent thousands of dollars to work with some of the biggest names in the content agency space so that you don't have to. I'm giving you all the information here in this video. And I've also closed multiple high ticket deals for my own channel. So I know the strategies work and I know what I'm talking about. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact strategy you should implement into your own content so that you not only attract the right audience to your videos, but you also convert them from being an active viewer to a current client of yours. Now, also briefly, let's talk about some prerequisites and who this video is for. This video is for online coaches who have a proven offer, have social proof in case studies, and are consistent because people need to see your face often for this to work. So if you're looking to scale, you're in the right video. Let's jump right into it. All right, so let's talk about the content funnel really quickly here and why it's important to you. So at the top, we have your top of funnel. Then we have your middle of funnel. Then we have your bottom of funnel. Damn, my handwriting is ass. Okay, so that's right there. All right, so first, the top of funnel we have where you're trying to get as many eyeballs as possible. You're just really trying to create content to get attention. And where a lot of people get wrong and why they fail at creating content, especially as a coach, is because they think showing off a luxurious lifestyle is going to equal an ROI from content. So they think flexing Lambos in their videos is going to make people pay them thousands of dollars. And that is just not the case at all, especially if your audience is somewhat sophisticated. But when done properly, top of funnel content serves to grow your channel subscribers and viewers and also drive attention to all of your other social medias like Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. So it does have a very good use case, but not really when you're trying to sell high ticket services or products. So to briefly touch on some top of funnel examples, you have your general how-to videos, takes and opinions, broad content, lifestyle vlogs, and I have some examples. So you have Cardinal Mason and Brez Scales down here. So we have Cardinal Mason, millionaire boys trip to Puerto Rico goes wrong. Brez, I bought a 400,000 GT3 RS at 20. And the reason this isn't going to attract high ticket clients or leads is because chances are the people watching this video just can't afford to work with you. You're leading with their dream outcomes. So you might be, looking at dudes who are in high school or college still, don't have a lot of money. They don't have their own business, but they see you living like this super entertaining lifestyle and they're entertained by it. So they're watching your content. They can't necessarily afford to work with you. Maybe if they get a loan from their parents, they might be able to, but these people generally can't afford whatever high ticket service you're selling. In Hormozy's case, he approaches the top of funnel content a bit differently than Brez or Mason because this is doing wonders for their personal brand. They're getting a bunch of followers across Instagram, Twitter, and they're super well known within their niche. So this content is serving the purpose of just getting them a bunch of attention, not necessarily clients, but attention. And how Hormozy's approach is a little bit different is he has how to get so rich you question the meaning of making money, how to actually get rich in your 20s, where he's not really leading with like entertainment based content. His videos are going to be a lot more knowledgeable and scripted for the user to actually take action. Like Hormozy knows the people who are watching this video, like how to get rich in your 20s, probably can't afford to work with him at a high level. And it just makes sense, right? If you're watching a video on how to get rich, chances are you aren't rich yet. But what Hormozy knows is that if he gives these people the right knowledge and steps to take when building their own business, that eventually they might build a company big enough for him to actually work with. But his content serves a purpose, right, of attracting as much eyeballs as possible and letting everyone know that he has this type of sauce, type of knowledge, pause, that people can take and implement into their own life. And I guarantee, even though the people who are watching this video, they might be a little bit more sophisticated than these viewers right here, only because these videos aren't entertaining. It's really just knowledge based, but they're still going to follow Hormozy because they know this dude's giving out free game. It's super valuable. So he's still building up his reputation, his personal brand of being someone who's like super killer at business. And he's getting a big following because of that. And he knows everyone wants to be rich. So people are going to click on a video about how to get rich in your 20s. So these videos serve the same purpose of getting a bunch of attention, not necessarily closing high ticket deals. So let's talk about what actually matters when creating content as an online coach. And this is content made specifically for your ICP. So, middle of funnel and bottom of funnel, solutions and proof. Let's talk about middle of funnel here. So, this is solving problems directly for your ICP. So, you have another video from Mason here, the only copywriting course you need. Video from Matt Larson, how I built a 900,000 per month marketing agency. We have Leo Moore here, how we book 100 plus sales calls per month without cold outreach. And then Nick Sarayev, how I hit 25K per month selling automation services, the roadmap and guide. Now, these videos are going to be free course videos, step-by-step tutorials with actionable advice that your viewer can implement after watching. Very specific targeted content. So you're creating a video for one specific avatar in mind. It's not broad. You're talking to one person, or one avatar, I should say, and non-student case studies. So personal stories / transformation, like this video right here, how I hit 25K per month selling automation services, or how I built a 900K per month marketing agency. So you really want to show off your knowledge and expertise here. You don't want to gatekeep anything, but also like don't fucking give away your social security number. Like don't give away all your deep trade secrets that make you unique. Give just enough for the viewer to actually learn something and take action after watching your video. That's going to build a lot of trust in the marketplace. And now, how do you collect leads from this specific audience? Because you don't always want to CTA directly to book a call. And the reason for that is because there's a rule of thumb. I think Google did a study on this where online viewers or online prospects need to spend at least 7 hours engaging with your content before they actually give you a penny and become a client of yours. So what you want to do is create free downloadable resources, so AKA lead magnets, that viewers can get by joining your email list. And this should be your call to action. So you can use something like ConvertKit to collect email addresses and then auto send your lead magnet. And fact here, your lead magnet actually needs to be good, because if someone gets your free value and it's shit, they'll think you're shit and won't give you any money because they think you're going to waste their time or probably scam them. So actually spend time making your lead magnets. That way, when someone downloads it, they'll actually get value from it and be like, all right, this guy knows his shit. They'll watch more of your videos, whether it be middle of funnel or bottom of funnel content, spend more time with you, and then eventually book a call with you. And by the time they book that call with you, they're so warmed up that their wallet's out. They just want to know how much you charge. And also, when you're collecting all of these email addresses, you're building up your newsletter database. So you can also spend more time with your prospects by sending out daily emails, just being in front of their face more. And you're just making this entire content ecosystem flywheel where you're priming prospects 24/7 every day, and it almost acts as like a snowball effect. And another example of that right here is we have, get the roadmap here for free, which is a CTA from this video from Nick Sarayev on how he hit 25K per month selling automation services, roadmap and guide. So again, he wasn't CTAing directly to book a call with him. It was just to download his free resource where he can add you to his email list, send you more emails, send you more value. You'll spend more time with him. So it works really well. And now these videos effectively act as a video sales letter when they're created properly. And don't worry, I'll show you how to properly structure the video scripts for these types of videos later in this video, so make sure you stick around. And the best thing about creating an hour-long free course video is that you only have to create it one time and it'll constantly generate views over time because it's evergreen. And you can drive all of your traffic from new videos back to one single video. And when you direct your audience to like a free course video after one of your other videos, YouTube loves that, because when they see people watching more of your content, they're just going to be pushing out your channel. And also the watch time on the video is going to keep going up, which is going to make YouTube's algo keep pushing it out to the right people. And the video is just going to keep going up and up over time. Now, with that being said, before we move on to bottom of funnel content, you don't always need to CTA to a lead magnet after middle of funnel content. And the reason I say that is because if you create a free course video just like this one, and you're giving out a ton of knowledge, but you're also coupling it with a bunch of social proof, case studies, and showing your authority, then that's effectively acting as you providing solutions and proof all within the same video. So you then could CTA your audience to booking a call with you throughout the video and at the end. And that makes sense to do so, especially this video is like over an hour 30 long. So they're spending a lot of time watching the content. They're seeing what you're talking about and you're providing proof. Then it makes sense to CTA to book a call. But for the most part, you want to CTA to people downloading your free lead magnets after a middle funnel content video. All right, now let's move on to bottom of funnel content. This is where we build authority and show proof that the solutions we give in our middle of funnel content actually work. and that's your offer as well. So we have an example from Mason again, how Amanda hit 30K a month in copywriting in just 4 months. Video from Leo here. He added 60K a month in 6 months. Here's how. Video from Ben here. He made 204K in 10 days from one client. How? Then Charlie Morgan here, 0 to 20K per month, SMMA in 4 months, Georgia story. Now, a lot of your bottom of funnel style videos are going to be case studies, interviews, personal stories, or podcasts, just mainly showing proof that all the shit you're offering people actually works, and you can get those results if you end up working with me. And when you showcase these real results from real clients, you instantly build credibility and trust. People are like, oh shit, I want that, because people can actually, look up the people who are doing well, see what they're doing, see that they have an improved lifestyle, and they're like, okay, this guy's legit. And it's just going to help your business so much more. And then you want to structure case studies as stories with clear before and after transformations, include specific metrics and results that prove your approach works, feature client testimonials when possible, highlight the exact process you use to achieve these results. And this is important right here. The titles and packaging should always lead with your ICP's dream outcome. So if we take a look at these examples here, it's all catered towards a dream outcome of 30K a month, 60K a month, 204K in 10 days, 0 to 20K per month SMMA. This one's super relatable because he started at 0. A lot of the people watching this video were probably at 0, and they're like, fuck, I want to get to 20K a month. So they're going to click on this and see, hey, all right, it worked for him. How can it work for me? I'm going to picture myself in that position. You're going to get a lot of attention because it's super relatable. And then for bottom of funnel content videos, you always end with a clear call to action for viewers who want similar results, which is booking a call. You don't need to drive traffic to a lead magnet here. You can go straight for the kill, book a call, because now they're seeing that the solutions you gave in the middle of funnel style content actually work, and it's time to book a call. Come work with us. Shit works. All right, now that you're familiar with the content funnel and how to implement it into your own business, let's talk about creating the content itself. So you have your ideation here, and chances are you're doing 20K per month already. You already know who your audience is, but it's always good to just write it down, get that clear image in your head. And you want to ask who, what, when, where, why. Who are they? What do they want? When do they want it? Where do they live? And why would they be interested in this? What are their dreams and desires? What are their problems and failures? What do they fear? And this is going to identify who your perfect avatar is. And by doing this, you're going to attract prospects who are in your niche and need your help along the way. And this is exactly how you're going to help them. You're going to provide solutions, and you want to get really clear on what your solution is. So write down, what exactly are you promising your listeners? What is your solution, and what is your offer? When you have all this information, creating content is going to become super easy. All right, now let's talk about a really, really important factor in the content creation process itself, which is the packaging. Because you can have the best content in the world, but if it's not packaged correctly, no one's going to click on it to watch. So when it comes to creating a title, it needs to be click-worthy. So use up to 70 characters. And I have some examples to the right here that we'll go over in just a second. But for example, how I landed 10K clients using YouTube step by step. And what you want to do is you want to front load keywords for SEO. So if we see right here, free email copywriting course. These are really front loading the keywords. And the words in the title should be different from the words in the thumbnail. Now, obviously he has free copywriting course here, and he has free course in the thumbnail. But we'll talk about why that makes sense in this specific scenario in just a second. But here's a little pro tip for you guys. Match your video file name and your thumbnail file name to the title. So for example, high ticket sales strategy.mp4, high ticket sales strategy.png. It's just going to make your SEO better. It's going to help your content rank higher in the results. All right, next, you want to design an irresistible thumbnail. Use the 3-element rule. So one main element is driving curiosity, 2 supporting elements providing context, and then you want to show the results viewers want, right? Especially as an online coach, you want to lead with that dream outcome like we just talked about, and then create a curiosity gap. So show before and after transformations or tease a surprising outcome. But in the case for online coaches, really just want to hone in on the before and after transformations. And then also test multiple thumbnails. You can use YouTube's A/B testing feature to find the best performing style of thumbnail that works with your audience specifically. Super valuable. Take advantage of it. Then your checklist here for thumbnails is it needs to be visible at small sizes, understandable in under 1 second, and stands out in a crowded feed. So let's take a look at these examples here now. Are these understandable in under a second? Free course, copywriting 2024, 0 to $1 million guide, 10K a month. I vaguely know what these videos are about just by looking at the thumbnail. They stand out in the feed, and then they're coupled with complimentary titles. So free email copywriting course so you can make your first 5 bands online. How to actually start copywriting. How I'd make my first million again if I had to start with zero. Again, this works really well because if you're at $0, you're going to watch this video to see how you can get your foot in the door and start printing cash. And then Iman Gadzhi here, the ultimate guide to start SMMA from scratch in 2025. And then he has their dream outcome for a lot of people, 10K a month. And if you're ever stuck on the type of thumbnail you should do, just look at adjacent niches or even people in your niche, see what's working best for them, see what like videos have popped off for them. Look at the thumbnail style, look at the title, take that same strategy and approach and implement it into your content with your own twist on it. Obviously, don't steal shit, be unique. All right, now let's talk about scripting. Actually, before we talk about scripting, if this seems like it's a lot of time and work, that's because it is. So you can most definitely implement the information I'm giving you right now from this video and do it yourself. Or you can just work with me and my agency and I'll run it all for you with an ROI guaranteed. 10 to 30 quality leads a month, or you don't pay me a single penny. All you have to do is record for like an hour a week, and the editing, scripting, packaging, and ideation is all done for you. So book a call if you're serious about taking action and really scaling your coaching business, and you meet all the prerequisites that we talked about at the beginning of this video. Or you can just do nothing and lose out on an additional 6 figures in revenue. All right, now let's move on to scripting. So scripting itself is pretty straightforward. You want to structure your script in 3 different parts. You have your hook, body, and outro, and each section serves a specific purpose. The hook, you want to grab attention immediately and set expectations. The body, you want to deliver the promised value in an engaging and structured way. And the outro, wrap up the video, include a clear CTA. Now, here are some key components of writing an effective hook. So you want to relate to the viewer. You want to start with a relatable statement that connects with your audience's situation or emotions. So, for example, when I started my agency, I had no experience or portfolio. And the reason this works is because a lot of people are starting their agencies right now with no experience, no social proof, no case studies, so they relate with you. And then you want to establish credibility. So, share a truthful claim or social proof to build trust. So for example, in just 30 days, I made 5K as a complete beginner. Then you want to set expectations. So you want to clearly explain what viewers will gain by watching the video. Example of that is in this video, I'll show you step-by-step how to land your first client from A to Z. And then you want to create some intrigue. So you want to add an incentive for viewers to watch until the end by teasing valuable information. So for example, stick around to see how I achieved X outcome from working just 3 to 4 hours per day. And here's some more tips for your hook. You want to keep it concise, trim any unnecessary details, and avoid any fluff because people have short attention spans, especially someone who's more sophisticated. They don't really care about all the bullshit, all the fancy editing. They just want value. And then also use some pattern interrupts, so some bold claims to grab attention immediately. All right, now let's talk about crafting the body of your script. So you want to split the body into 2 to 3 main points or more if necessary. Each point should address a specific aspect of the topic. So for example, a video on landing clients. Point 1 is the outreach method, sending Instagram DMs. Point 2 is identifying ideal clients, so picking a niche. And you want to use bullet points instead of scripting word for word. This prevents you from sounding robotic or monotone, and it allows you to be more natural and give you some flexibility while recording. And what you're looking at on the screen right now is a script. And I'm able to record the video a lot faster than if I tried to memorize all this information and then stare directly in my camera and say it word for word. One, you probably wouldn't pay attention because a lot of people like to see on the screen what I'm talking about. Helps people retain the information better, and it lets you get your content out of the way pretty fast. All right, next, you want to include some examples and elaborate on each bullet point so you can have some real world examples, stories, or case studies. And why these bullet points work is because it's going to allow you to inject your own personality, help connect you with your audience, and also share your expertise in the video. And you also want to include an early call to action. So add a small discrete CTA within the first 30% of the video. The reason you want to do this is because not everyone's going to watch all the way to the end of your videos. So we still want to make sure that we're including a CTA to the people at the beginning of the video for them to take action if they don't make it all the way to the end. Now, this is best used after handling an objection or sharing a successful element of your story. So for example, that's why I decided to create my free program to help people that were in a similar situation as me and can't afford to get scammed by another guru. And also, if you see what I did earlier, right here, the objection is, if this seems like it takes a lot of time and work, that's because it is. So I'm giving that objection and then I'm CTAing to how they can solve that. problem. And that's where the early CTAs work best. All right, now let's talk about writing a strong outro. Key components of that is transition smoothly from the body. And the way to do that is by using a transition sentence to avoid abrupt endings. So for example, so that's exactly how I landed my first client. Then you'll include your final CTA, reminding viewers to take action, whether it be subscribe, click a link, book a call. Keep it concise, avoid dragging out the outro, keep it short and focused. And now some overall general scripting tips for you. Trim any excess content, so remove any redundant or overly detailed sections. Less is more. And something I didn't really talk about in this video is editing, where you do need to do basic editing for your video. You know, you need to cut out the ums, the ahs, the empty spaces, you know, when you're in thought while you're speaking. But you don't really need to do some insane like retention edits that would be more like Mr. Beast style. Just not necessary. But the editing still, you know, it takes time to go in there and clip up each video. That way it flows smoothly and it's easier to follow along without, you know, all the pauses and ums and time to think. Then you want to optimize for retention. Place your most interesting point right after the hook to keep viewers engaged early on. And then also use open loops. So create curiosity by teasing information that will be revealed later in the video. So for example, I'll share my exact outreach template, but first let's talk about finding ideal clients. So you want to make sure you follow this overall structure when writing your own scripts. It's going to help you stay super focused, super dialed in, talking to your audience and making sure that they don't leave your video feeling like they just wasted their time and then you get anything from it. All right, so that is the complete blueprint to adding an additional 30K or more per month to your coaching business. If you follow every single step in this video, you can definitely start seeing high quality leads coming from your YouTube channel within the next 30 to 90 days. But doing it alone, clearly easier said than done. You'll need to master content strategy, video production, the editing, scripting, packaging, SEO optimization, all while still trying to deliver excellence to your current coaching clients. You'll have to become an expert in a totally different field just to grow your coaching business. And with everything I've given you, you really have two options. You can do it yourself, knowing all the challenges and work you face. And if you do, bro, you're a killer. I wish you the best of luck. Or you can just work with me and my team at the Content Bosses, where we handle everything from the strategy to scripting to production to optimization for you, so you can focus on what you do best, and that's coaching your clients and making sure they get sick ass results. That's just gonna help scale your business even more. And if you pick that second option, then click the link in my description to book a call with me. You can learn more about exactly what I do in terms of my done for you YouTube content service for coaches and consultants. And even though we scale through YouTube, it really just pushes your entire brand as a whole through Instagram, Twitter, etc. And the best time to start is right now. So I hope to talk to you soon. See you guys in the next video. Peace.